So I want to get into a little bit of physics, simple stuff, and understanding how electricity works in a body, how you can increase it, what increases it, so you have a better understanding and perspective. And I'm still learning myself, but this is something that has to be addressed because it's not. And because it's not, it's being ignored and we're not moving in the direction we should, or as quickly. So, in physics, and I'll apply this to the body, but in physics you have two things that give you, power. Even three things. But what it is you have energy, what's called energy potential, you have volts, and you have amps. Now let's talk about volts and amps really quick before we get into energy potential. Let's get into volts and amps. Now, what is volts and amps? Volts is literally about the push of something. And when we're talking about the push of something, we're talking about the push of electrons, okay? Now, it's literally speed. You can kind of see the speed. The faster you're doing something, the more you're getting it done, right? So you can have one person at a job, he moves slow, not a lot's getting done, but he moves faster. Well, you're getting a lot of things done. Or you have a thing called amps. And amps means the amount of people, like the amount of electrons. You can kind of see that as the amount of people at a business. So let's say that you have 10 people moving slow, but they probably equate to that one person moving fast because there's so many hands at deck. But let's imagine if we're able to get all of them to move quickly, right? And that quick pace of action is called volts, all right? Amps is literally the amount of people, or the amount of electrons. So what you do is you create volts times amps equals watts. And what's watts? W-A-T-T-S. Watts is power, right? So to understand your power, you have to understand the rate, which is the volts, the push, the drive, and then you have the amount that's being driven. And that's what you get. That's where you get your power. Now, you have another thing. It's called potential of energy. What potential energy says is, how much work can that person do in a day? Because, at the end of the day, we all get tired. And that's determined by calories. Calories is your potential of energy. The concept that you can even do anything at all. So if this person has a lot of potential, it means that he has a lot of calories. Then you have a lot of push, right? And then you have a lot of amps, and then that's how you get your power. So when we're looking in the body, when we're talking about potential of energy, just the idea of the fact that a person can even accomplish anything, is through calories. Now the calories alone won't determine your overall energy's potential, but what determines is the volts. It's the speed, man. And the volts is determined by the rate of oxygen that comes into your body. The rate of oxygen. And the amount of electrons involved that's being pushed, the amount that's being involved, it's called the amps. And the amps you can think of as alkalinity. You see, alkalinity, this means electron potential. It means the potential of people involved, or units of electrons involved. You can see as people, if you want to view it that way. And then you have the volts, which determines the rate and speed. And then you have the potential of energy, just the fact that they're even interested. So when one increases the amount of calories, yes, you have potential of energy. Just like people who are on ketosis, they have a lot of dense calories, which is a lot of dense potential. But they don't get that kick they need, you know? And that kick they need comes from the rate of oxygen, which is the volts, determines how fast the electrons can move. And the electrons in number are watts, and that watts is determined by eating alkaline foods, foods that are living, bioelectricity, the minerals that come from the food, the sodium ions that come from the food. This all determines how quickly electrons and how many electrons are to do work in your body. So if you're basically eating a low density caloric diet, glucose, which has very low potential of energy, meaning that when you think about, when you have the vision, like say you're building a city, like I have this vision, you know, there's potential in this city, potential. It means that if one can imagine the amount of energy that one can put into the city to make it bigger, then that's what calories kind of gives you, that potential. It hasn't been done yet because it's just potential. It hasn't been used yet. And calories has low, the calories in sugar has low potential. Now, okay, we get those things burning, those calories burning, with the oxygen coming in there, the volts. And you don't, because you have low potential, that drive gets burnt really quickly. But if you have fat, you have massive amount of potential of energy. So the faster you burn it, the more you can get done. Anyway, that's all I got to say about that. I'm going to drop another video for you soon, more or less recording. Again, please, I will say this every video, please donate anything you can. The more you donate, the more I can give you some evidence behind my claims of demonstrating superhuman energy, superhuman power. I'll leave it in the description box. I'll talk to you soon. God bless.